Hello and welcome. I'm your hotel AI expert, and I'm so pleased to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to your online learning journey. We all know that in the world of hospitality, creating an unforgettable guest experience is, well, it's everything. But what happens behind the scenes is just as crucial. So today, we're going to explore what I call the architecture of financial stewardship, that invisible framework that makes sure a hotel doesn't just survive, but absolutely thrives for years to come.
We're going to be looking at what it really takes to build a hotel business that lasts. And it's about so much more than just great service. It's about building this powerful foundation of financial integrity and, just as importantly, ethical leadership. You can think of it as the blueprint for sustainable success.
So here's how we'll break it all down. We're going to tackle this in 4 key areas. First, we'll lay the governance foundation. Then, we'll get really clear on a leader's core responsibilities. After that, we'll see how you can actually shape a winning financial culture. And finally, we'll pull it all together with the ultimate goal, sustainable stewardship.
All right, let's dive into our first pillar, the governance foundation. This is the bedrock, the blueprint for how a hotel manages its money. You know, success here isn't about luck. It's about having a really clear, intentional plan.
So what exactly do we mean by financial accountability? Well, think of it as just total clarity. It's making sure every single person knows who's in charge of the money, who gets to make the big decisions, and how we're keeping an eye on everything. Because without that clarity, you get chaos, and chaos is a recipe for disaster.
This whole framework really has 3 key parts that all work together. First, clear policies. That's your rule book guiding all your spending. Second, strong internal controls. Think of these as your safety features, like needing 2 signatures to approve a large parent. And third, transparent reporting standards. That's your dashboard, giving you the real-time data you need to steer the ship. And let's be really clear about this. This is not about creating red tape or unnecessary restrictions. Good governance is actually a shield. It protects the hotel's assets, its reputation, and, honestly, it protects every single team member by creating a fair and stable place to work.
Okay, so we have the structure. But a structure is useless without the people who bring it to life. And that brings us to our second pillar, a leader's core responsibilities. And trust me, this goes way beyond the balance sheet.
Now, for all of you, our future leaders, this is such a crucial point. I really want this to sink in. Financial leadership isn't just about being a whiz at crunching numbers. It's about integrity. It's about upholding your ethical duty to the hotel, to its owners, and to your entire team. As a leader, you have 4 non-negotiable duties. You've got to safeguard the hotel's assets. You have to ensure all financial reporting is dead-on accurate. You need to build and maintain trust with everyone involved, from investors to the front desk staff. And you are the guardian of the hotel's reputation and its long-term value. I love this phrase, transparency is the currency of trust. Think about it. When you're open about the why behind financial decisions, your team feels valued, they feel included. And when owners can see the full, honest picture, their confidence in your leadership skyrockets. It's a win-win.
This whole idea of trust leads us perfectly into our third pillar, shaping a financial culture. This is where we make the shift from a have-to mindset to a want-to mindset.
You know, there's a quote that just sums this up perfectly. Culture isn't created by a policy manual that sits on a shelf. No way. It's created by what people see their leaders do day in and day out. When you lead with integrity, that becomes the new standard for everybody.
Let's break this down into 2 types of accountability. On one side, you've got rule-based. That's when people follow the rules because, well, they have to. It's a start, but it's not the goal. Where you want to get to is value-based accountability. That's when people do the right thing because they genuinely believe in it. That's when you have a true culture of ownership, and that is where the magic happens.
So at the end of the day, what we're aiming for is to make financial responsibility part of the hotel's DNA. It shouldn't be some chore you do once a month. It should feel like second nature, a natural part of every decision, every single day, in every single department.
And all of this, the framework, the leadership, the culture, it all leads us to our final and most important pillar, sustainable stewardship. This is the end game. This is about building a legacy that endures.
This is where it all comes together. Look, it's pretty easy to boost short-term profits by cutting a few corners here and there. But true stewardship is about skillfully balancing amazing performance with unwavering responsibility. It's about achieving great results, but doing it the right way. Anything else is just a temporary fix.
And when you get this right, the payoff is absolutely huge. You don't just get strong financial performance, you get something far more valuable. Deep, unshakable trust from everyone you work with. And in this industry, a sterling reputation is your most valuable asset, period.
So as you all move forward in your incredible careers, I want to leave you with this question. We've talked about the architecture of governance, the vision of leadership, but now you are the builders. You are the ones who will be creating the financial culture of the future. The only question is, what kind of culture will you build?